Today, we're diving into a really powerful method to supercharge your listening skills. It comes from a source called Breaking News Listening Practice. So let's start with a feeling I bet you know all too well. You're doing great in your language classes, right? But the second you try to listen to a native speaker or a movie or the news, it all just turns into this wall of sound. It's super common, and it's the exact wall we're going to learn how to break down today. Well, what if I told you there's a focused technique to systematically tear down that wall? The source we're digging into today lays out a surprisingly simple, but man, is it an effective strategy to get your ears ready for the real world. So here's our game plan. First up, we're going to define what this real-world audio wall actually is. Then we'll pull back the curtain on a specific tool you can borrow straight from the news. We'll get into why it works so well, how to unlock it with key vocabulary, and finally, we'll put it all together into a simple listening loop you can start using like today. All right, let's kick things off by really defining the problem. What exactly is this real-world audio wall we keep talking about? Just think about the huge difference between the classroom and, life. In class, everything is neat and tidy, the pacing is slow, the words are familiar, the audio is crystal clear. But the real world, it's the total opposite. It's fast, it's unpredictable, and it is jam-packed with slang, idioms, and background noise. That huge gap, that is the audio wall we're trying to get over. So how do we start to climb it? Well, our source suggests we borrow a tool directly from the world of broadcast news. And here it is, the entire technique boiled down to just 6 little words. Short news bulletin with key vocabulary. I know it doesn't look like much, but the real magic is in how these two parts work together. This simple phrase, it's like a treasure chest. It holds a complete, super powerful strategy inside. So let's open it up and take a closer look at the 2 gems inside, the short news bulletin and the key vocabulary. Okay. First, let's talk about the audio source itself. Why a short news bulletin? Of all the things you could listen to, what makes this so perfect for practice? Before we go any further, what even is a short news bulletin? Simple. It's just a quick summary of the day's big stories. Like the headlines you hear on the radio at the top of the hour. They're short, they're to the point, and they're usually just a couple of minutes long. So why are these bulletins such an amazing training tool? Well, for starters, they're short. That means you won't get overwhelmed. They also use really relevant, high-frequency words, the kind you'll actually hear and use. And here's the really clever part. News topics repeat themselves, so you get this built-in repetition that builds familiarity super fast. Plus, they have a predictable structure and are based on facts, which makes it way easier to guess the meaning of words you don't know. All right, so we found our perfect audio source. But just listening on its own isn't quite enough. We need the key to unlock all that meaning. And that brings us to the second, absolutely crucial part, the key vocabulary. So, what do we mean by key vocabulary? Look, this is not about trying to learn every single new word. No way. It's about being a detective and finding those few essential words and phrases that carry the main idea. The words that, if you took them away, the story just wouldn't make any sense. And why bother focusing on just these words? Because it is the ultimate strategic shortcut. Learning these few terms gives you the biggest bang for your buck in terms of understanding. They literally act as a key that unlocks the meaning of the entire sentence around them. This way, you build a word bank that's actually useful, and you get those quick wins that build your confidence and keep you going. Okay, so we have our perfect audio, the short news bulletin, and we have our tool to unlock it, the key vocabulary. Now let's put it all together into a powerful, repeatable process. Let's talk about your new listening loop. This is the heart of the whole practice. It's a simple 4-step cycle. Step 1, just listen to a short news bulletin. Don't stress about understanding it all, just listen. Step 2, ask yourself, what were the few keywords that blocked me from getting the main point? Find them. Isolate them. Step 3, look up just those few words, get what they mean. And now for the magic, step 4, listen to the exact same bulletin again. You will be amazed at how different it sounds now that you have the keys. You see what's happening here? This loop completely flips the script. You're not just passively letting sound wash over you anymore. You're turning listening into an active, focused workout for your brain and your ears. It's smart, it's efficient, and it works. And the most important takeaway is this. You're shifting from just hearing words to actively decoding meaning. You become a detective, hunting for the clues, that key vocabulary that reveal the whole story. And that's where the real, lasting learning happens. So there you have it, a method that's simple, powerful, and ready for you to try right now. The only question left is, what will you listen for today?